everybody, it's Jacob Buchanan with Achilles Mortgage with Mortgage and Muscles. Today we have a special guest, my man, Mr. Theo from Gooseneck Insurance. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah,
for sure.
No doubt.
We had a great conversation, and we just want to talk a little bit about the market, insurance specifically. A lot of people don't know about insurance, what goes into it, especially in Florida with the storm just passing through recently. And we go take a deep dive and just talk about fitness and kind of living in Jacks.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. So like a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how long you've been doing insurance for, things like that.
Yeah, man. So to answer your question, 8 years in the insurance industry. I started off in Maryland. I was actually working for my family's restaurants, and I had just gotten married. And so like I saw my wife like a passing ship in the night, it was like an hour a week.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm going to be married either to her or to this insurance industry or to this restaurant industry, excuse me.
That's a lot of time right there.
It was like never ending. So I obviously I chose her, and I like reached out to my aunt who was an agency owner.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, I know you network. I know you've got people. Here's my resume. Can you like hook me up?
Okay.
And she was like, yeah, come down Monday. Like I have somebody to introduce you to.
That's awesome.
I show up, it was her.
Yeah,
it was her. She was the one. I was
she interviewed you?
I was like, nah.
Yeah.
But that's how I got into insurance.
Okay.
And it started in Maryland, moved down here in 2019, worked for a couple different agencies that I actually helped open their Florida office and Florida presence.
Okay.
One was for Capital Benefits. They're a Maryland-based company. And the other was First Coast, which was a Florida-based company.
Understood. Gotcha. And so at this point in time, you have your own branch right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went fully independent and opened Gooseneck Insurance, which is a franchise similar to Brightway model.
Okay.
We have all the carriers in Florida. We can basically write any risk, and we understand the appetite of our referral partners. I mean, we really focus on our referral partners.
Exactly. And so your network is your net worth. So with that being said, if people want to reach out to you for a policy, they're getting a pre-approval, they want to shop their potential rate with a home. Of course, they'll contact you via phone or email. What's the benefit with you going through you or someone compared to like Brightway? What would you say is the difference?
It really just depends on who's picking up the phone. With me, you're getting 8 years of experience. You're getting somebody who's going to educate you through the process. Mm-hmm. We're not just going to throw you a policy and say, hey, take it because it's the cheapest.
Yeah, gotcha.
We're really going to make sure that it's comprehensive and it's going to fit your needs if you were going to have a claim. Because our goal is for you to only pay your deductible. Mm-hmm. That's it. We don't want you to pay anything more than that. So if you have to, then we didn't do our job. So that's really the benefit of choosing us at Goosehead, is that we're really invested in making sure that you're protected the right way.
Gotcha. And it's all about customer service and make sure you're all on the same page, right? So we've talked about a few things. One thing I wanted to get into is coverage in Florida, maybe even South Florida, but then also like premiums, how they're adjusting and why, and maybe deductibles.
So premiums for home insurance are actually going down. There were 10 carriers that just announced for the next few quarters rate decreases, which is a huge sign of growth. Okay. Which now means that you're going to have more carriers coming back to the state of Florida, which means we'll have more competition, which means that the rates will slowly start to go down.
That's good. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, because you're going to start spreading the risk amongst all these different carriers, where before it was like 7 players in the state during the last 2 years.
Oh, really? They dropped down to 7?
Oh, I mean, it was like there were more than that, but there were really only like 7 true partners.
Okay, wow. The whole state of Florida pretty much. That's interesting. What are some things about a policy that you would recommend that maybe some other carriers wouldn't include in that initial declaration or page or quote?
So I always recommend flood insurance. I think that's something that should be purchased pretty much anywhere in the state of Florida. Okay. Everyone says, well, I'm not in a flood zone. I'm not in a flood zone. Everyone is in a flood zone. Flood zone X.
You just saw it happen.
Yeah. Flood zone X just means that you're not likely to flood as often as flood zone AE.
True.
AE, you with lending, you're required to have flood insurance.
By FEMA, absolutely.
But you're not required with flood zone X. Mm-hmm. But in Florida, it's like we're all in a flood zone.
Mm-hmm.
So protect yourself, because that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage.
True.
If you're not adding that onto your policy. And I say always keep it separate. Those are things that I would like buy in addition to and not endorse on my home policy.
Okay.
Because if you had a flood claim and it was on your home policy, then your home rate goes up.
Okay, so you could get your primary home's hazard declaration insurance.
Yep.
And I'm not the best insurance guy, so bear with me here. And then add additional separately, just a small flood policy is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something we need to talk about then for my home. I don't have
one. Dude, we gotta get you a flood policy.
Yeah, we gotta get a flood policy. I think I have what's the flow back or something like that in my current policies. Is that a thing? Like if the water comes in like a little bit
water
of
backup.
Water backup.
That's not flood.
That's not flood.
No,
okay.
That's if water comes in through a drain.
Oh.
In the home.
In the home. Okay. See, didn't know that. Just learning. So what would, like, if you were in zone X or similar zone, how much would that potential policy go for, more or less?
If you're in flood zone X, you could see rates anywhere from like $500 a year to $700 a year.
Okay.
It really depends on the area.
Mm-hmm.
Northeast Florida, for the most part, we're like right in that $500 range. If you're going further south, you're looking closer to like 700, 800.
Okay.
And then AE, I mean, we can get into another whole topic about AE.
I've seen those policies, yeah. But you have to get that coverage. I mean, we've seen it when, which storm was that, when the whole Jack's Beach kind of lost their homes? It was like 4 years ago.
I think that was Matthew.
Was it Matthew? Yeah. So we saw, it's needed. And if you don't have those policies, you kind of lose all your lively values, and it's just gone. You don't have anybody that's following up with you. Unfortunately, what's going on in the other parts of the country right now. Yeah. It's very saddening. Would you say that insurance as a whole has enough competition right now? If people are looking for policies for new builds or just kind of existing homes in the market?
Absolutely. The Florida market is very diverse right now for homeowners insurance. We're struggling a little bit more on the auto side than we are with homes.
Okay.
Because we have new carriers that have come in. So Verd, Orange, Loggerhead, who was the other one that came in? There's a couple more, but those are like the top ones that have come back and really made like a positive impact on Florida. So, yeah.
And so this is basically a good time to kind of shop your rates right now, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Florida's like, Northeast Florida has the best rates in the state.
Okay, that makes sense.
And like, if you are somebody that just got a new roof or they just changed their water heater and everything is like kind of new, what we call those 4 points of the home. Okay. Roof, electrical, plumbing, HVAC. So if those are all new and you've just been with a policy for the last like
just because
5 years,
right on.
Yeah. I mean, like, definitely shop your rate. Or if you haven't shopped your rate and it's been 3 years, shop your rate. I mean, it doesn't hurt to know what else is out there.
Got you.
And if you have the best rate, then hey, now you know.
At least you know. And it doesn't cost you any money per se, right? So yeah, you're just doing it. Just reach out.
100%.
And you do car insurance as well?
I do auto, home, flood, boats, golf carts.
Hey, the whole gamut. My guy has it. I need to talk to him about a car insurance. It's crazy right now. With that being said, a lot of things in the market is fluctuating. What would you say, like 3 pointers that's happening in the market that you're seeing on your perspective of the market, or kind of what's going on, more or less? Like
the market in terms of like rates?
Like with rates and the new investors coming in, kind of home sitting, new builds.
So I would say that there's a lot of refis going on right now. And with the refinances, like I think that's another opportunity to shop your rates, because you can get into something that's a little bit better. Like I was just working on one that they were paying $3,500 and we got them down to $2,300. Wow. So it's a big decrease, and especially when you're also refinancing to a lower rate.
So you're dropping your mortgage payment and your insurance premium.
Exactly. Okay. So like now your monthly payment is even sweeter, which is great. That is huge. I see, like, as the Fed is starting to cut down on those rates, we're starting to see a lot more people off of the fence and like into the market again. And so that's slowly starting to pick itself up, even for a time that I feel like is kind of slow. Like I feel like there's still a lot of new homes being purchased, but it's hard to compete with new construction builds, because, you know, like they have internal insurance agencies, they have internal
Okay.
lenders, and those are the ones that I say to everybody. I'm like, you have the option to shop. You're not locked
Obligated.
in or obligated
Mm-hmm.
to sit there and take what they give you, because those guys are in a completely different state. The Florida market is very diverse and very complicated.
Okay.
So like you need to work with someone who's an expert in Florida.
No, that makes sense, because your neighborhood individual that's there on the grounds with you is going to know exactly what's going on.
100%.
Yeah, and actually speaking with you, you are licensed. It could be licensed in other states if need be as well.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. So just reach out if you have any insurance needs. One thing that we like to talk about is mortgage and muscles. If you want to flex on them really quick, there you go, man. There you go. So, what type of things do you do to stay in shape? You know, do good, feel good, look good, and all that stuff.
Oh man, it's like everyday battle.
Yeah, no, you got to find the time, right?
Yeah, you know, I think it starts with forming habits. You know, really good ones, and so. Also having a partner that is supportive and doing it with you. So
absolutely.
Like, you know, my wife and I have struggled to be on the same page with health and fitness for a long time.
Okay.
But like recently things have just clicked. And so we go on morning walks.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Like
for yourself and for your significant other. Ooh, can't get that out.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, because like you get to connect, you get to talk about the day, you get to not like open your phone and start scrolling and looking at emails.
We all do it.
We all do it. You know?
Yeah.
So that's like the big one right there is just waking up and going for a walk, having a glass of water. I'm kind of a crazy health person, so like I've got like a juicer. I make like ginger shots that I take.
My
every
type
morning.
of guy right here.
Yeah. And then there's a workout that's going to happen during the day, whether it's going to be in the morning in between meetings, in the morning before I start working at like 5 a.m. or really late in the evening after I'm done. So it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when, depending on the schedule. For
sure. I'm kind of like today I worked out in the morning, and yesterday I worked out a little bit at night. So it's just whenever you make the time. Yeah. And that's one thing is time management right now. We're in an industry where you're kind of on call all the time. Tell people like how are you able to kind of diversify your time in such your personal life, work life, and just your own time as a man and as a person.
So that's a great question, because I feel like boundaries in our industry are very hard to create. For sure. Because there's something always happening, like on weekends or nights, and you want to be responsive and you want to be as helpful as you can. Yeah. And so for me, it's prioritizing. Like, how urgent is this? And can it wait until Monday, or can it wait until tomorrow morning? True. And so if I see that something is coming through and it really is urgent, I'll just drop what I'm doing and like help them out really quick. But if it's something that can wait, I just say, hey, listen, let's connect tomorrow morning. So that way I can have my downtime with my family.
And that's the thing. All you just need to say, hey, we'll get to this at a little time from now, and that keep it moving. Would you say that you bring it up a little bit with juicing and stuff like, so what things in your diet that you kind of focus on? Because I do the ginger shots with my allergies, but not as consistently as maybe I should. But like, what other things would you say?
So I take digestive enzymes. I think that's a really big one.
Like papaya or?
No, it's a specific digestive enzyme that is like
a probiotic pre?
Yes.
Okay.
That's really helpful to me. I feel like that gives me some great energy, helps me digest the food a little bit better. Okay. I don't eat sugars, breads, pastas I stay away from.
What's your nationality again?
Greek.
No pasta. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, right.
All right.
I didn't say I didn't eat rice. Okay.
All right.
We're big on rice.
Yeah.
Fried foods, I try to avoid that stuff. I'm mostly like Wednesdays and Fridays is strictly vegetarian, and the rest of the days I incorporate my proteins.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah. I love it. I'm the gamut. Bring it to me. I'm gonna try to stairmaster it off, but I'm eating everything.
That's awesome. Though. I mean, it just depends on what your goals are.
No, for sure. I need to get a little tighter, a little stricter, but I as of this point, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. But no, I was a vegetarian most of my life at one point. Did pescatarian. I keep hearing about this carnivore diet. I don't know about that, but I just got to start cutting down on the sweets personally. Stress and sweets for some reason, they go hand in hand with me. But everything is a work in progress, and all we're trying to do is maintain. I'm trying to keep the dad bod off. That's what I'm here to do right now.
Yeah. I mean, man, I get it. Like the sugar is so good.
Yeah, it's addictive. It's like it's a drug. It's a drug. Yeah.
I mean, my guilty pleasure is a Coke Icy.
A Coke Icy.
Yeah, that's like my go-to. I'm like 7-Eleven, here I come.
We got one up the street right here. Yeah.
They call them Slurpees, but I'm like, that's a Coke Icy.
At first, I was like, "What are you talking about?" But okay, I got you. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're from up north, so that's we call them ices. Yeah. That's awesome.
Go over to Buc-ee's. They got ices all over the wall. Okay.
That's funny. Would you say so? Like, do you and your wife pretty much work out a few days out the week together? Or?
We don't work out together because she likes doing Pilates, and so she has a Pilates reformer that she takes the time to do her Pilates on, and it's really like her alone time where she can regroup and think.
Makes sense.
So she does that, and then on my own, like I'll do a whole bunch of cardio and a bunch of weightlifting.
Okay.
So I try to run at least like 2 miles 3 times a week, and then
that's not bad, bro. That's pretty legit. Yeah.
It's all right. I hate running.
Yeah,
but,
man, you might get a half a mile out of me.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Jacob.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, no, but like the weights, like that's like the de-stressor.
No, for sure.
Hey,
I'm mad. This transaction happened. I'm gonna pick up this dumbbell. Yeah.
Like you really get right when you're lifting heavy.
Yeah. Endorphins go crazy. Yeah. Everything like that for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing about it. We're all, here, we're eating certain diets. American food we know is kind of like this, and food is expensive too. So you're definitely watching on what you're putting in, and you are what you eat. So, and then you gotta take time to invest in yourself physically to stay healthy.
Well, yeah, because we're in such a robust industry where the stress piles on quickly.
For sure.
And for me, you really need to know yourself, right? And so for me, it's if I'm eating poorly, I'm performing poorly. I'm not as focused.
No, for sure.
I'm not as motivated. I'm not as responsive. And so it's important for me to keep that consistent diet because it keeps me consistent in my work life.
Hey, they're all connected.
They're all connected.
They're all connected.
Yeah.
What other things going on with insurance? Insurance is a big thing right now when it comes to protecting your assets, protecting your home. One thing I want to get into personally is more like let's say like umbrella policies. Is that something that you want to elaborate on a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. I think this is big, especially for people that are investors who aren't putting their properties in LLCs and they're just keeping it in their personal names.
Okay.
Umbrellas can be really, really useful, especially if, you've got an Airbnb. I mean, there's so many lawsuits on Airbnb.
No, it's getting crazy, I'm told.
It's out of control. And so if you have an underlying liability on your home policy that's $300,000 and you're sued on 2 of your properties that exceed that amount,
okay,
guess who's coming out of pocket?
You are.
You are, right? And so that umbrella policy not only is going to cover you on every single property that you own, but also your personal assets like your car, your personal home, your boat, your golf cart. So it gives you an extra $1 million in liability.
Gotcha.
On top of what you currently have
already.
But you can go up to $5 million. I mean, you can go up to $10 million if you want it. It just depends on what your needs are.
Is that like an additional to let's say like a family trust, or that goes with it more or less, would you say?
So the family trust is really for legal purposes and getting set up for your estate. To pass your assets on to your family. The personal umbrella is only going to protect you on lawsuits. Okay,
so that's specifically for lawsuits. Okay.
Yes.
And anyone could get that as if you just your primary and your cars, you could get an umbrella.
100%.
Okay. What are those policies like going forward?
For $1 million in coverage, you're looking anywhere from $370 to $500. It depends really on your record. Okay. So driving record can impact those rates.
Okay.
Youthful operators can impact those rates.
Okay.
But if you're 2 people with a home and an investment property, you're probably in that 370 range.
And that's for the year?
Yeah.
$1 million for $370 a year. That doesn't sound bad to me.
That's peace of mind.
Yeah, that's peace of mind. I've been thinking about it. I need to just jump on it and do it. Why not? Why not?
100%.
Is there any other thing like that you would like to speak on that most people don't know about or kind of inquiring about at this point?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, look at what your valuables are. Like, a lot of people overlook the stuff that they collect.
Okay.
Like your rings, your watches, your guns, your furs, your stamps, your paintings. Like, those are valuable.
I should get these guys insured.
I mean, go get them appraised, man. You'd be surprised. Like Michael Jordan, that's worth something for sure.
Yeah, I need it. Yeah.
I mean, so putting that on your policy as an endorsement, so say that's $5,000 to replace.
Mm-hmm.
When you lose it, you get $5,000.
Okay.
But if it's not on your policy and it's a collector's item, there's limitations to how much they pay out.
Yeah. Okay.
But like your couch, you have full value on. Your rugs, you have full value on, because these aren't collectibles. They're just everyday use.
Okay.
So,
did not know that.
Yeah. So like wedding bands are a big one.
Okay.
I know a lot of my guys, they go out there and they spend the money on that ring,
I do have a little insurance policy on her wedding band.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah,
smart.
It's like $120 for the year.
Yeah,
super small.
cheap.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna be talking. This guy, he knows everything, right? Okay. Would you say that I have a daughter? She's 13. She'll be 16 in a few years. I think a lot of people are in this position. We're getting a little older to a certain extent. What could we do or not do to help that potential policy that will happen when I add her to my car insurance?
So in the state of Florida, when she turns 14, you legally put her on your policy.
14?
14.
Oh, she's driving at 14?
She's not driving.
Oh, she's not driving, no.
But she's getting the benefits of the policy.
Okay.
So she's not a rated driver. She's going to be listed as an excluded driver.
Okay.
But you put her on there so that she can really reap the benefits of everything, because for some reason,
they get like a credit 14, type of thing with the policy.
Yeah, and so like at age 14, it's like some type of legality in there that they can deny the coverage if she's not listed on there.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and so a lot of people try to get away from that because it is an additional premium, very small premium.
Okay.
But they could help, like, in the future when it comes time for her to start driving. Mm-hmm. Showing that you were financially responsible and you didn't withhold that information and not want to add her to the policy.
Wow. Okay.
Also, things like good student.
Like at her age currently?
When she starts driving.
When she starts driving, okay.
Yeah, like a good student credit goes a long way.
Okay.
Driving courses go a long way.
Okay.
There are what we call participation credits as well for driving programs. So they're devices that can plug into your car, be used off your cell phone like an app, that don't track how you drive but collect data on how you drive.
Got you.
And so
kind of like what State Farm does.
Yeah, State Farm does that. Progressive,
yeah.
Geico, they all do it at this point. But that's really the direction that these companies are going in, because they want to know, like, are they a good driver or are they a bad driver? Are we getting the right rate on them? Or are we not?
Even if you're never in an accident, they're still using those habits, starting and stopping.
Right, like, are they hard braking? Are they flooring it?
Interesting.
So, but those can really help her as a young driver, because she will be more aware that something is there in the background collecting data on her, because you can see her score through whatever app that you have. So let's say it's Progressive. They have an awesome app. So you can see what her grade is as a driver and how well she's doing.
Wow.
And you can give her incentives as a father.
Yeah.
Like being
don't pull off on that brake.
Yeah.
Pull off on that brake.
Like, honey, you killed it this week. Yeah. Like, here's $20,
Hopefully it saves me $20 on our premium.
Yeah, right. But it can absolutely, it gives you participation credits, but it also can help on renewal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, well, if you anything about insurance, from your home to your vehicle to boat to your personal intangibles, this guy is the man. My man Theo from Gooseneck. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I
thanks
appreciate
for coming
you.
in. We have another episode coming. Stay tuned. If you want to get in contact with us, our contact information will be at the bottom of the video. And if you don't reach out, hesitate via call, email, and we'll reach back out. We'll appreciate you.
Cool.